Morning, guys. Steve said he'll be joining us soon, but I thought I'd just jump on anyway and chat to whoever's on here already. Good morning, you Ferris. So I believe from memory, Ryan. Good morning, Train Freak. What's the big meeting with your boss about this morning? What do I do with all my screwdrivers? I hope you're getting a pay rise and a holiday to go with it. Something a little different, me and my messy workbench. Yeah, don't we all want that? No, people, I am not on drugs. This is how I lubricate everything. So I've got white grease, gearbox oil or oil lubricant, all in syringes. So in that way, I can easily just use the tiniest amounts without overdoing it. This is an old U50 I've had for a while now, in case you guys are wondering. The police wouldn't believe me. Good luck them trying to prove that it's anything else but grease. So the short circuit was because of that. Hey, John. John, you're probably looking at my workspace and going, oh my god, what is this hypocrisy, this nightmare? I can tell you it was a lot cleaner the other week. Son of a... How did I know that was going to happen? Just as bad at the moment, jeez. We're our own worst enemies. There we go, that goes there. Now, where'd you go? In other news, I've managed to destroy, I think, 3 decoders over the last 48 hours. Which I'm not happy about. Hey John, Bernard. Okay, let's try this again. So let's see, so it's Thursday going to Friday here in Australia, so how's everyone's Thursday morning? Hey Steve.
Good morning, Mr. Shannon. How are you this morning? Or tonight, or whatever the hell it is.
Oh, it's nearly midnight, so in about 5 minutes it'll be morning here. No, I'm not doing too bad, apart from the fact that I managed to destroy more decoders in the last few days than I ever have in my whole DC career.
There he is.
Oh, it's just been just fault finding, and like I know why, and it's because I started to do something different and new, which I don't normally do, so I don't have a complete testing procedure to make sure I don't blow up decoders, and I don't have a range of decoders I can use for testing. And in the process, I managed to destroy an ESU V4 lock sound, which I did destroy one the other day, but I managed to fix that one, and that one's going good. That one's proving to be running really good. No issues yet, but touch wood. And then the other one, whilst I was testing another loco which wasn't behaving, I couldn't figure out what was going on, and it wasn't until I swapped over a sound decoder into it to test it, and found that the decoder I was using for testing originally was faulty.
Oh, jeez.
But when I was testing it with that sand decoder, I didn't realize, or I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, and I managed to short out the speaker wires onto the tracks, and I killed the whole sound module in the decoder. And with that, it also fried part of the motor circuit, so it's only got 2 speeds, stop and go. So I'm going back to my basics. Going to something that's nice and easy, nice and simple, and that is preparing a DC loco to become DCC.
Yeah, when in doubt, go back to the basics. I agree.
Oh yeah. Yeah, jump on, John. I don't mind.
I'm trying to get my laptop to work. Is that John 2618?
Yeah, John 2618. He's got a Dakota query.
Good morning, John. I'm trying to get on chat here. How do you get all my chores done this morning before I could jump on?
Was Sheila on your back about it going, no, no, no?
No. She left for work, but I got a ton of water to get to her here in the morning.
You got a ton of what to do? Oh, watering.
Huh?
Did you say watering?
Yeah. Flower beds, gardens, all lawns.
The dogs.
The dogs. Yeah, got to get the dogs, make sure they're outside doing their business and not inside doing their business.
Actually, now that you're on, I can actually... I don't have to be maximized, I can be minimized.
Good morning, Schuylkill River Valley John. That John. We got a lot of Johns, huh?
Oh, I know.
Train Freak, hello. Good morning.
We should draw a raffle. We should draw a raffle and go, right, on the word go, you know, all the Johns pick a number. And whoever gets the first number, so then we can go, hey, John number 1, hey, John number 2, hey, John number 4.
Yeah, the old game show where the real John, please stand up.
Oh.
Good morning, Bill. New Fenris. Now, Shannon, it's Fenris, not Ferris.
Yeah. I blame that on undiagnosed dyslexia.
Well, that's okay. I gotta make sure that people pronounce your last name properly now. Tapia, not Tapia.
Easiest way to remember, just imagine you're saying, I'm going to tape you up.
Tape you up. Yeah.
With masking tape.
Speaking of taping you up, you got some paints yesterday, too.
Yeah. I'm also chasing up that missing loco last.
Yeah, every package I see, I say, oh, good. There's that locomotive.
No, I contacted the seller and I had a look at the updates. The last update was on the 23rd of July in the center of America. It's still about 6 states away from you, I think.
And the other package was mailed the same day.
No, the other package was mailed 3 days later.
3 days later. That's even worse.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a couple of other Dakotas I decided to test as well because they were good before I removed them from locos because they didn't suit the loco and whatnot. And yeah, tested them this evening and something's gone wrong with them. They're now dead. Yeah. So I was just like, woo, I'm having some great luck with fucking Dakotas today.
Hey, I was watching the replay of Beans on, was it Monday we did it or Tuesday?
Tuesday, I think it was.
What it was. I've got a bet. Somebody's going to have to go back. Hey, John. Good morning.
Hey.
Go back and look at the replay and find out something unusual. You can find it in the first 3 minutes.
Unusual.
Yeah, it's better than losing my re-railer.
Okay.
Do I go back and look at the replay to find it?
Do I even want to know? Because when I started the camera the other night, there may have been some quick.
No, it had nothing to do with you.
Okay.
Nothing to do with anybody but me.
Okay, because I was more worried that.
Oh no, you're innocent. I looked at it and was like, oh my god.
Yeah. So what's your question, John? What Dakota we're talking about?
So I got I bought a bunch of those the look pilots. I don't know if you guys have them in N scale or not. They're just function.
Yeah, I know the lock pilots. They're pretty much the ESU non-sound version Dakotas.
Exactly. So I bought a bunch of them to kind of throw in some just random locomotives I don't run a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what I could do, I'm getting a motor hum. Like, it's so annoying. I can't get rid of it.
Motor hum, and that's the back EMF.
Yeah. So, but I still can't. I tried messing with different things and I can't get it. Let me see if I could show you my computer and you could look at this.
Yeah, you should be able to share your screen. Down the bottom of your screen should be share screen or something.
Well, I've got you on my phone right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, then that won't work.
Let me see if I could switch you to look at my my computer. I don't know if you'll even be able to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, because that motor hum, it's I'm not sure if you're familiar with oh, what's it called? Shit, the name's escaping me right now. Pulse width modulation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the lock pilots and the ESU lock stands, they use pulse width modulation because it gives maximum torque but speed control.
So these are the only settings I have on the look pilot.
Hang on, let me make some. Well, actually, let me full screen you so I can actually see what's going on. Hang on, let me just open up mine so then that way I can follow. Crap, where am I? Here I am. Whoops. Everyone's saying nothing now. Where's the issue? It's there. New project. Okay, lock pilot. What are they? Lock pilot V5s or V4s? John?
No, Bernard, it wasn't anybody running naked in my background. Good guess, though.
I'm gonna have to look at the first 3 minutes now because I'm like super worried right now.
Well, you don't have to be worried.
No, but my wife will kill me. I can say that much.
There you go. I don't know what happened. My phone like locked on me. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, I just went into my ESU. What lock pilots are they? Are they the V4s, V5s?
Yeah, the V4s. Are there V5 lock pilots?
Yeah, I don't think they're readily available. Like on the ESU lock programmer, they got them listed there. Let's see, lock pilot V4. They're not like a XL or FX or anything like that. They're just a lock pilot.
I think so.
Okay, I'll just go lock pilot V4. Okay.
Actually, let me get the box real quick.
Now where am I? Driving characteristics. No, that's braking function.
Oh,
Motor settings.
It says lock sound 5 DCC decode. Oh wait, never mind. I'm at the wrong box. Hold on. Oh, I got too many decoders here. Hold on.
Nah, it's alright. I went from like 6 decoders to 0.
Yeah, it's a V4. Yeah, V4 21 pin. So I run into this problem where I tried to do that the CV, what is it, CV49 that does the
CV49, and then set that to 0, back out of it, and then you press function 1 and it does an automatic back EMF.
Yeah, so it changed things around, but it still hums. And then when I do adaptive regulation frequency, when I activate that, the hum gets like super high pitch, but it still hums.
Yeah, well, that's for the sampling period. So over a 1 second period, it actually samples how many times it actually turns on and off.
Yeah.
And that's where you get that frequency, because when I was running DC, the last setup I had pulse width modulation controllers. So they pulsed the voltage through the track. So I had a constant 16 volt voltage through the track, but I controlled the speed by how many pulses was going through the track, and it made an absolutely high pitched noise that some people could hear it, some people couldn't. But I was unfortunately enough to, every time I ran my trains, like
Yeah.
And
exactly.
Yeah.
So
I know.
I can run it. You want to hear it?
No. I know exactly what the noise is. Back.
It's on the program track.
DCC. Back EMF noise. Because to get rid of that, because what you got to think about back EMF is basically the decoder's automatically putting a high voltage to the motor to kick it.
Yeah.
And it's just constantly kicking it.
But what's funny is if I turn off back EMF, the hum is gone.
Yeah, because you pretty much turned off that kick.
Yeah.
So the way you got to think about it is when back EMF is turned off, the only thing the motor circuit is doing in the decoder is just adjusting the voltage to the motor.
Yeah.
But when you have back EMF turned on, what it's doing is it's pulsating. So say you set the back EMF to kick it at 6 volts, right?
Yeah.
So when you start it on speed step 1, the decoder is is putting maybe 1.5, 2 volts into the motor, but the decoder is also sending a signal, well, not a signal, like a high voltage spike of 6 volts to the motor during that slow speed. And and that depends on how many pulses per second. So if you tell the decoder to do it 15 pulses a second, it'll pulse 6 volts 15 times a second. And the more pulses you put into it, the higher the frequency, the higher the noise. So and it works really good for when you want to have slow crawling speeds and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it's also really good when your locomotive's under load going up a grade, and when it's going up a grade, the decoder will sense that the amperage of the motor's going up because it's under more load because it's going uphill against gravity. So then kicks in that back EMF to pulsate those voltages to give it a little bit of a kick to get the motor spinning that little bit faster for the that small second. So it keeps a constant speed going up a gradient.
Yeah.
And unfortunately that's the annoying noise. Now I'm just trying to see, because I know when you get DC locomotives,
yeah,
a lot of them run ceramic capacitor on the motor, specifically to absorb that pulsing. but I don't know if that is recommended when you have DC's decoders installed.
Yeah, because it's an Athearn Genesis,
Yeah.
so it should run smooth.
Oh no,
I mean,
it'll run smooth, but it's just the design. Like, you know, as I said, like some people can hear the frequency really well, you know, and then some people who are a bit deaf, or as you age, obviously hearing gets worse. They won't be able to hear it. It's kind of like a dog whistle. You know how with a dog whistle, when you whistle, you can't hear anything, but the dogs can hear it a mile away?
Sure.
It's the same concept, but instead the motor's creating that frequency noise.
Well, maybe it's just me, because I'm not used to that noise because I'm used to running sound decoders, but like maybe it's just supposed to sound like this. I don't know. Do you want to hear it real quick? I'll show you.
No, as I said, I know exactly what it is because, like, because trust me, the last decoder I programmed with sound, it had the same thing, and I'm like, is it really bugging me? How loud is the sound compared to when I turn the sound on? And because I'm a little bit deaf, it's like, oh, I can't hear it over the sound. It's all good. I'll leave it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just annoying.
It is, yeah, it is annoying, but if you live with it for a few weeks, it becomes white noise to you.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, but the other upside of it as well is, if there's an issue with your loco as well, because say you start up your loco and then all of a sudden you're at like speed step 10, your loco is not moving. You can kind of go, well, I can hear the motor trying to pulsate, so there's something jamming the motor. Whereas in the past it was like, oh crap, what's wrong? Is the motor dead? Is there something jammed?
Yeah.
It's got its upside like that, but it is super annoying. The fact that you have an Athearn Genesis loco, my recommendation is turn all the back EMF down to 0, and then with the speed table, adjust the startup CV so when you go to speed step 1, the locomotive just starts to crawl.
So turn it off?
Yeah, turn it off and adjust the speed step 1.
Okay, so you can see my screen, right?
Yeah, like I've got the same screens up on mine. I just don't have a decoder to connect to the computer.
Okay, so I'll turn it off here. It's gone. Now it doesn't make any noise, but like you said, it takes a lot of juice to get it going. So I just need to regulate the start voltage and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let me give that a try.
Yeah. So the upside with back EMF is you could ultimately have the locomotive running at 0.5 mile scale speed.
Yeah.
But without the back EMF, depending on the manufacturer and how new or old the motor is and how worn in it is, you might get, say, 2.5 to 3 miles. If you're lucky. If it's a bit of an older model, you might get 5 miles.
Okay.
And then your really old locomotives, there's nothing gonna save it unless you're running minimum 10 miles or nothing.
Okay. So I'm wondering if it's gonna run as smooth as it did with back EMF. Then probably not, huh?
It will and won't. It just depends how. Like if it's well maintained and the motor's not overworked, it should run quite smooth.
Yeah, because I've never ran these. These are brand new out of the box.
Yep. Well, as in the decoders or the locos?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I've noticed now, like, it takes a bunch to get it going, but once it's going, I could slow it way down.
Oh, so you have to kind of kick. Okay.
That's with back EMF off.
Yeah.
Hey, Shannon.
Yeah?
Claude said he'll be on in about an hour.
Okay. Ooh. Let's see. Tricks, picker, cancel. Regulator parameter K, regulator parameter I. See, it'd be nice if ESU ran something similar to NCE, Because on NCE decoders, you can actually set the frequency and the speed step.
Mm-hmm.
So, like with an NCE decoder, you go, okay, I want this decoder to pulse 3 times a second at a speed step of 20. And just for 3 times a second, it'll just pulse the motor just to get it kick-started, and then once it's kick-started moving, it'll just crawl.
Yeah.
Sorry, go.
It's just like, it's frustrating because, I wanted just to keep them all ESU because I wanted to be able to, throw them in a consist of sound locos and still be able to, consist them with the loc programmer, but just not have sound in them,
Yeah.
And they have all the functions for that. It's awesome. You could, I could go in and, well, you know how it is, and change all the functions and, set up a really nice consist with you could even put like a ghost drive hold. So even though it doesn't have sound, it'll still act with drive hold with the other locos.
Yeah.
But it just sucks because they make a noise, and I'm like, it just drives me nuts.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look up because you see how on the back EMF you've got regulation reference K and I.
Yeah, and then you got slow K and I.
Yeah. I think the high K and I is basically to keep a constant speed. The low K and I is where you're hearing that frequency. But I'm just trying to figure out which one is in charge of which. There you go. It has a frequency of 25 gigahertz.
Okay.
So, let's see, DCC. Nope. Wait. Nope. DCC parameter I. PDF. No, that's basically the instructions. I don't want the instructions. I want cancel. Good. Shit. Where did I get that in from? TCC. Parameter K and I. Back EMF. The K and I parameters are reference to the manual theory. Yeah, I know the theory. At the maximum no load speed, V BMF is equal to V supply. Armature current. Terminal voltage resistance of armature. Terminology. Radians per second. BMF is a side effect of pulse width modulation. The decoder can read the voltage generated when the power is disconnected. Where is it? I did see K and I in this somewhere.
Well, I just adjusted the K and I low and just did a test on it, and the frequency definitely changed way lower. It definitely changed the sound of it.
Okay, ESU uses the letters KPI for various back EMF parameters, where several CVs are used to set each of these values. I is inertia, K is power load. P is the reference voltage. The K and I parameters are referenced in their manual. So, inertia. Okay, set I for 2.
I for 2?
Yep.
On low?
Yeah, on the low.
CV2 or 2 seconds?
2 seconds.
Oh,
What's the maximum on this?
they won't go that high.
255, 255 to 102. You should be able to put 2 in there on slow.
Yeah, well, I got a number 2, yeah.
Yeah, and then K is the power load. So for every, so 1 CV is half a speed step. So you want to go, at what speed step does the loco start moving at?
At 1.
No, but when you had the back EMF turned off.
Oh, turned off?
Yeah.
It was up at like 15 or something.
15 out of what? 120.
255.
15 out of 255. So set.
Oh, that's the CV value. I don't know what speed step. I could mess with it.
Yeah, because say you had the throttle up at 15 out of 126, you want to set parameter K at 32, 33.
You know what sucks? I just lost my. I just reloaded it. And I lost my automatic CV49 settings.
Yeah, because regulation I, which stands for inertia, is how many times a second it kicks the motor over.
Mm-hmm.
So, in theory, if I'm understanding it correctly from what I was just reading, the 2 in the seconds, where it says seconds, it means that it'll kick the motor over twice a second. So every half a second, it'll pulsate the motor. Regulation K is essentially what speed step you are kicking that motor at. So if you want to move the loco at speed step 1, but it won't normally move until you hit speed step 15, you want to set that at 33. So when it hits, so when you do click speed step 1, twice a second it's pulsating that motor with a speed step of 15 instead of 1, which will kick the motor over just enough to get the inertia going. Does that make sense?
Kind of. So what should I do now? Should I...
Literally just go regulation parameter I2 and regulation K33. Tell me how that sounds to you.
32
on K.
So here's on the K. Okay.
See you later, train freak.
You want that on for the low or for the?
Yeah, for the low. Don't worry about the other ones. Just in regards to low.
No,
Right,
Bernard,
so
I
32.
had to let the dog back in. Blue wanted back in the house. He was like whining.
Yeah, sorry guys if I haven't been keeping an eye on chat. The 2 screens I've got open. Yeah. Both screens I've got, I can't see chat.
So regulation K slow is 32, and then I
is 2. All
right, that's at 2. Okay.
Yeah. So as I said, from what I'm reading, and if I'm understanding it correctly, K is how much voltage you're sticking to the motor, and regulation I is how many times a second it's doing it to the motor.
Okay.
So see how that goes. See how the loco reacts at speed step 1. And if nothing happens, up parameter I till you start hearing that noise. And when you start hearing that noise, back it off a couple of steps and then start messing with K.
So it still makes a noise.
How loud of a noise? Is it like loud or is it quieter?
Here, I'll show you. Can you hear that?
Hang on, let me turn my soldering iron off. It's buzzing. Vaguely, I think. Can you get in closer to it? Change regulation I to 1.
All right. So which one to 1?
I for India.
So is that a CV value for? Is that what you're talking about right here?
Yeah, CV value of 1.
Or 1 second?
Yeah.
Okay.
See what that does. Regulation influence.
It's still humming, but now it's like it's humming at like it's pulsing.
Just dit like that.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah. So parameter I is how many times it pulses. Okay. So change parameter I back. Change parameter I to say 4. So I'll go 4, and we'll go down a parameter K.
Down with K.
Yeah. So let's see. 32 half of 32 16. Go 16. See what how that sounds. Steve's just sitting there like, I don't have this problem.
Yeah.
No,
like,
I'm watching. No, Bernard sees this. You guys are flipping awesome. He's watching you. Figuring he's going from DC to DCC.
Yeah.
So he's learning from you guys.
Oh, so he's kind of glued to the screen like intriguing.
Yeah.
It's still humming.
Louder or quieter?
Same.
Same. Change regulation influence. Change that to 255, 127.
127, you said?
Yep. Still. Okay.
Still pulsing.
Yeah. Nah.
I don't know if you could see if you could hear the pulsing.
Nah. Well, if we set it to 4, it's pulsing 4 times a second. So
yeah.
And the regulation influence in regards to pays the voltage to the track. K, inertia, and kick. So K is kick. With the K and I above slow speed settings, what happens if you set those to 0?
All the ones above?
Yeah. Like, don't touch the voltage regulator, touch just K and I above the slow. Put them to 0. Okay. I wonder if that's interfering. Because otherwise, the only other thing I can think of is to see if you can put a capacitor between the positive and negative of the motor to absorb that pulse.
Mm.
Better or worse or same?
Whoa, we got some change here. Huh, now I got... It's not moving. Not moving. It's not moving at all now. Huh. Yeah, now it's not moving at all.
Okay, so it needs
Maybe it needs a value of 1 or something.
Yeah, put 1 and 1. Maybe it needs those settings just so I can read the back EMF. Whilst you do that, I'm gonna Google see if it's safe to put capacitors on the motor.
Oh, definitely change the way it sounds. It's shaking now.
Well, I mean shaking, like it's struggling to move. Is that like kind of inching? It's like stop, stop.
Yeah, look at the glass on the side windows. See how they're shaking?
Yeah, that's the slow settings we set. So it's kicking the motor 4 times a second, and every time it kicks the motor, the torsion in the motor is kicking the whole chassis over.
Yep.
But how's the noise? Is the noise gone or still there?
It's every time it kicks, it makes a little buzz.
Why capacitor is used in DC motor? Added, if you really mean a capacitor in parallel with the power supply and DC motor, then up as apply, the capacitor keeps the voltage more steady and keeps the high frequency noise. Here we go. So if that's the motor, do you put a capacitor like that? By doing this, current will only be drawn from the capacitor when the power source can't supply enough. No, we don't want that. Oh, hello. Why connect to the capacitor? So I found a motor circuit which looks like this. Seems I use. No, I don't want that. I want reduction of DC motor noise, electrical engineering. Noise suppression devices on locos. Ooh, hello. Like the difference. Locomotives all run better in reverse. You can't run a capacitor.
You can't run one with a ESU. I think you need to.
Nah, because I just found a web link that says that some manufacturers actually put a noise suppressor in the motor circuit to get rid of that radio frequency noise, as they call it.
Mm-hmm.
But those circuits interfere with the signal from the decoder, which makes it run erratic. So,
hey, Bernard, where were you? You said you were up.
Yeah.
Up here.
But in saying that, if those locos are brand new,
I'll chat with you.
maybe run them in forward and run them in reverse for maybe 5 minutes each direction. Get the motor worn in a little bit, get the brushes worn in, and get the gears, a bit polished up and the grease moved around. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully that'll reduce any drag on the drivetrain, and hopefully that'll allow you to not need to use back EMF.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Yeah, because that article I just saw basically was just saying, in DC operation, if people are using pulse width modulation, the capacitors do help because it absorbs that frequency noise, that radio static as they call it, or TV static.
Yeah.
And then, but when putting it with DCC, because DCC is running back EMF, it is running, you know, how many amps is the motor drawing and all that. It can't have the capacitor there because the capacitor will give it false readings and it'll act erratically.
Oh, okay.
So it's
All right.
kind of a win-lose situation, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'll keep messing with it and
Yeah.
See what's going on. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Well,
Shannon. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, at least you now you know that parameter I is how many times it's trying to rotate it.
Yeah.
And parameter K is how high of a voltage you want to kick it with.
Okay.
So K for kick and I for inertia.
Okay, I can remember that. Cool. Awesome. Appreciate it.
No, all good, John.
All right.
Now I can minimize this and see what everyone's been saying. Whoa. Hang on, what did I miss? Jesus Christ. Train freak. Also, I have a couple steam pieces that I need parts. Bernard C. Steve had left the building. Got to go, boss is here. See train freak. Bernard C. Trying to sound. Bernard, if one thing I can suggest to you is whatever DCC controller you're going to use. So if you're using NCE, get the NCE USB interface. If you've got Digitrax, get the Digitrax USB interface. ESU, get the ESU interface, etc., etc., etc. And then download JMRI. It'll make things so much easier for programming. You know, you don't have to learn exactly what CVs are, what CV numbers is what. You know, because there's a lot of CV numbers you have to remember. There's a lot of values you have to remember. You know, it's just easier to go, okay, I've got to remember this, this, and this. So that's my 2 cents there. Crazy Joel, how are ya?
Take you later, John.
See you, John.
I'm not getting anything done either.
Oh, come on, Steve. You love it here.
Of course I do.
Oh, God.
It's my excuse to turn life off. Sort of.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to my psychologist today, and yeah, I'm not in a good place right now. Literally counting down the days and going, uh-oh, I'm running out of money. I'm running out of time. I need work to pick up so I can go back to work and do my job. Jeez, how did I work with such large... Oh, now I've got to turn this back on. Jesus.
Hey, good morning, Allison.
Oh, Ally! She's in the house.
Ally's in the house. Does that make it a cat house?
Oh, who knows?
Shots fired.
Oh, not this again. Oh, Jesus, what have you done?
Oh, no, I'm not in Idaho. I'm in Oregon. The very southwest part of Oregon. We're just a California suburb, I think.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a smart ass remark, you know, that related to isn't he basically just from California?
Oh, we're not very far.
Oh no, it's just basically a skip, a hop, and a jump, isn't it?
Well, as the crow flies south, the California border is only about 20 miles from my house. So, yeah. But freeway distance from California, I'm
Far enough.
An hour.
Oh, jeez.
But I can still smell California, though, is the problem.
Man, if you saw my wood floors right now, jeez.
Do what?
Oh, whenever I get too much solder on the end of my soldering iron, I just flick it to the floor. It's not that it damages the floor or anything, but you look at my floor and there's just splatters of solder like I've been crying solder.
Ally's going to stay in chat today, Shannon.
Oh, is she having a bad hair day?
That's no fun. Hey, I got on. Hey, Ally, go back and look at the replay of the last beans. Watch the first 3 minutes and tell me an anomaly. See if you can find out something that is weird and strange. It makes losing the re-railer look like nothing.
Did you forget to put your pants on Tuesday morning?
Well, I never wear pants. I'm not going to tell anybody. You got to go find it.
Yeah. And here I am bloody working with a Concord U50.
I finally figured out a way to get my roofs to stay on these cars that I've been building.
Were you using magnets or something?
Yeah, look. Well, they're covered right now with liquid tape, but I got little magnets on the corners. And then I got them on the roof. They're all covered, and it just goes snaps right on.
Bernard, they've got a track in Medford where you can
nice.
Go race your cars.
Oh, what? Bernard's racing cars?
Nice.
Well, they've got a track. Well, he was racing a funny car in Medford, which is only 45 minutes from my house, and they've got a track out there where you can take your car and go out there and.
Actually, do you guys in the States have lemon races?
A lemon race? What is that?
Okay. Actually, no. Actually, scratch that. You do, because that's where us Aussies got the idea. Okay, so it's a racing event. Okay. But the way you pronounce it is the same way you pronounce Le Mans, but you spell it lemons. It's called the Lemons Race.
Okay.
Okay.
I never heard of it.
Well, basically, it's a endurance race.
Yeah.
All right. It's like a 24-hour race, but you race nuggets of cars. Like the parameters is basically you can race any model car you want as long as it doesn't exceed $1,000 in value.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
That'd be fun.
And then, but here's the kicker: at the end of the race, if your car manages to get to the end of the race, anyone on the day is allowed to approach you and make an offer on your car. So it's one of those. So basically, it's like, I hope no one buys my car.
And you have to sell it. You don't have.
Yeah, pretty much. You can't keep it. If someone makes an offer, you can, as soon as someone makes an offer, it's like, okay, I'll let you know if your offer is the best offer I've got.
Yeah, do you have to take the offer though?
Yeah, like if someone makes an offer on your car, you have to sell the car.
Yeah, but what happens if someone says, I'll give you $1 for it?
They pay you $1 for it. No, I think you do. I think you negotiate or something. Like, I know that's one of the rules. You have to basically sell the car if an offer's made on it. I
just know, and you guys have those the burnout what are they, the summer? What is it called?
Summer nuts. Oh yeah. Everyone else in the world looks at us like, what's so cool about it?
I'm like, all these guys have like the highest horsepower cars in the world, and they're just doing donuts in a box.
Actually, Container Man Roy, I was talking to him a couple of months ago, and I showed him a link to. We've got a Ford Falcon here in Australia called the XR6.
Yeah.
And it runs an Australian-built motor, the motor is called the Barracuda, but for short we call it a Barra. Okay.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah. The block alone stock is capable of withstanding up to 1,000 horses before you have to start doing things to the block.
Wow.
The internals are capable of withstanding 800 horses or something stupid like that. You know, like, we're talking about a 4-litre straight 6. You know, so it's a big 6. It's not a small 6, it's a big 6.
It's an inline 6?
Inline.
1,000 horsepower.
1,000 horsepower
Well,
on a stock block.
It's kind of like a 2JZ or like a import motor. They're capable of big power like that.
Yeah, but they're only 2.5 litre, 3 litres tops. We're talking 4 litres.
Wow, that's a big motor.
Yeah. Anyway, and there's this guy in Melbourne. His car was the first car to make one, because we use kilowatts instead of horsepower.
Yeah.
And I don't know the mathematics on how to translate kilowatts to horsepower, but his was the first car of that range of motor to make 1 megawatt at the wheels.
Jeez.
1 megawatt is equivalent to 1,300 horses at the wheels.
Wow.
And it's road legal.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's literally the car where, oh, the cops are chasing us. Oh, I better floor it. Oh, look, I can see my fuel needle moving.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. But some of the things people do to these motors, my God. Like, the last motor I saw up in person, the guy who was building the car up, he was a mechanic, and he went and got an old Cummins motor turbo out of a truck.
Yeah.
Which had like a 6-inch opening at the turbo. And like, you start this thing up and you just hear the turbo just quietly whistling, and then when he puts his foot down, you just hear the car going just slowly revving up, and then eventually you start to hear the turbo start to whistle. Yeah. And then as soon as the turbo hits that RPM, it just
Yeah, that's great. Those big diesels, they got some massive turbos on them.
Oh yeah, and this guy decided to put on a 4-litre straight 6.
That's crazy.
Oh man, but no, they're good cars. Like the motors are indestructible. You can pick up the motors cheap, so cheap, because that model car was used in taxi fleets. So you know, you go to a wrecking yard and you go, oh, I want a barrel motor, and they're like, yeah, $100.
Wow. Well, they're probably built like strong for taxis. You know, they've got 1 million miles on them.
Not even like some of those taxis do 800,000 Ks, which is about 600 mile, and then they just trade them in or whatever, because they're running on propane gas essentially.
Oh wow.
Yep. Yeah, like these motors, they were versatile. Like you build the block, and depending on the setup, you basically just have to change the heads over, the cams, and the bottom end. That's it. Pistons are the same. Internals are pretty much all the same. Cooling's the same. A lot of people put them in other cars because they're cheap. They're good for cheap power. Like, there's a mechanic here in Melbourne. He does what's called the 10 for 10 deal. So you give him $10,000, and he'll make your car do the quarter mile in 10 seconds.
Nice.
And most of the time, he uses a barrel motor. So he puts a barrel motor in your car, tunes it, sets it up, engineers it, and you go down the quarter mile, and he's guaranteed to do within the tens.
Wow.
If you want any more, then you know he's happy to oblige as long as you pay him more.
Cars, that's another money pit.
Oh, that's the thing. I was into my cars and model trains, and then something had to give.
I still have mine. I got a 03 Saline Mustang.
Oh.
It just sits in the garage though. I never drive it. It's got like 52,000 miles on it. That's it.
Yeah. No, that's what I had an old an 86 BMW 323.
Yeah.
You know, manual. Absolutely loved the thing. It was a coupe, no sunroof, so, and it just needed a little bit of paint and a service. And I was like, sweet. And yeah, I used to drive it like some weekends and whatnot. And then after a while, it was like, oh, I don't have time. I need to fix it up. I need to service it. You know, can't afford 2 regos. Can't afford 2 bills.
Mine's got to go. I'd probably sell mine soon. I never drive it. It just sits, and I get offers for it all the time. And
yeah,
it's got a Whipple supercharger on it. It's tuned. It's only about last time I had a dyno, it was like 460 something to the wheels, but it could probably make more.
They can always make more. You just have to figure out what makes maximum, and then you got to back it off a bit so you don't blow the thing up.
Yeah, I had them do a safe tune on it, so it could just a daily driving tune. But I can hit a button. Like there's a little programmer I have. I could put it on track, like a track mode, and it makes it a little bit more close to about 500. But
yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing though with cars. Like, you know, you can do all these things to it, but at the end of the day, it's just a car.
Yeah. I never drive it. I got my new Jeep now. I love my Jeep, so I just drive that all the time. And my wife has her big redneck pickup truck, so it's like we don't really need it.
Yeah. Basically, if you want to ram someone, you just go, honey, I'm borrowing your car.
Yeah, it's funny because everyone looks at our cars. They're like, "Oh man, Johnny, nice truck." I'm like, "No, that's Steph's truck. It's not mine.
That's my wife's."
She's got the big lifted Chevy. You know.
Oh, she's got it lifted too. Oh.
Yeah, she's got we got a 17. It's a 1500, but I want to get a. I think after we move next year, we're gonna get a 2500 to Duramax because. You know, we got a couple trailers. We pull around the 4-wheelers and side by sides and stuff. So
yeah,
we'll upgrade it to a diesel.
Yeah, man, I remember going 4-wheel driving. Holy crap, my friends are crazy. I remember one time we were 4-wheel driving and there's this big, massive motorbike dirt mound. Like it would have been about 30 feet high. And my mate's just in his 4.2 litre Nissan Patrol diesel, GQ, and he just drives up this thing, and like the mount, like either side of it was wide enough, but when you get to the top of the mound was just wide enough that if you didn't get the car perfectly centered, you were either going to roll to the left or roll to the right. There was no ands if about it. Anyway, so he lines himself up and I'm in the passenger seat. And he goes, "You ready for this?" I'm like, "I guess." And here I am thinking, "Oh yeah, he's gonna put in low gear and just chug up the thing." Nah, high gear, first gear, just charging this. Yeah, just sending it. He charges up this thing, and we get to the top, and the front end just lifts up, slams down, and what happens? Only one wheel hits the top of the mound. The other wheel is floating in midair, and the car leans to the left, and I'm on the passenger side, which is on the left-hand side in Australia, and I'm just seeing the car tilting over, and all I can see is the sky, the horizon, and then the ground, and I'm just looking at like, oh shit, and I'm about to shit myself, and he's like, "Oh, we're tipping over," so he steers into the dip, and he steers into it, and yeah, we come to a stop down the bottom. I get out of the car, and I'm just walking stiff-legged, and he's like, "You're right," and I'm just like, I've never been so frightened in my life. I was going to get squashed.
Yeah, it's back in my old reckless days. Now, model trains is a little bit more, a little safer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the end of the sentence? I thought there was going to be more to it.
Almost ready to fire it up or what?
Fire what up, huh?
Your locomotive.
Oh no, I'm nowhere near it. I'm
Oh,
I'm just getting this thing ready for Dakota because yeah, I bought these micro pins and sockets,
yeah.
and man, it makes life so much easier. Like I can open up a tender and plug and play away as I go.
Nice.
You know, so like early today I had a lifelike Y6B, and it's gone from DC to completely DCC friendly. The only thing I have to do is inside the tender I have to leave like some instructions to say, you know, wire this wire to this pin, wire this wire to that pin. Because it follows pretty much the NMRA standard for 6-pin decoders.
Yeah.
But the only difference is the pin that usually is the reverse light pin, I've made into the common ground pin, so I've got common ground to the front of the loco.
Huh.
So,
I've been using I mean, you know, you guys are N scale, but in HO, I've been using these on a lot of my builds, the decoder buddies, where it converts. You just replace the board and it makes it a 21-pin decoder, you know, capable.
yeah.
And they give you all the pads for all the functions, and even like a little, you know, light function here, a light pad that you could remove, so you could solder all your lights to this pad. And then when you take it, like if you need to take the shell off for maintenance, you could unplug the pad for the lights, so you could separate, you know, not have wires everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm currently doing right now, like with
Yeah.
these pins. I'm doing the redneck way.
Doing the redneck way, yeah. Yeah, I bought a bunch of those. They're really nice, but I don't think they make them in N scale.
Nah, but even then, like if they did make them in N scale, there'd be an arm and a leg for what you'd get out of them.
Yeah.
You know, like for these pins and sockets that I've bought, I think I paid $20, and I can wire up to like 60 locos if I wanted to.
Mm.
You know, it's just the labour that I have to do to get it all done.
Yeah.
Which I'm not complaining. Like I don't mind it. It's the thinking process is like, okay, I've got to do this to this, got to move that there, got to do that, got to do this. That wire goes here, that wire goes there. You know, and that's the thing. Every time I wire a loco, in my head, I trace the pathway for the each wire, and I go, okay, is that wired correctly? Is that going to work? And you know, I end up drawing like 10 diagrams on a piece of paper, you know, just going, okay, if this is positive and that's negative, the path is going to go this way, and that's going to turn on, and that's going to turn off, and that's going to do this, that's going to do that.
Yeah.
So it's good fun. That actually might work. How many pins?
Oh, Ally, yeah, I've seen TCS. I like their they make a nice board adapter, and it has keep alives built on it, which is really cool. But the only thing that sucks with the ESU decoder is you can't put I don't know if you know, you probably know this, Shannon, right? Like you need to put an ESU keep alive in an ESU decoder, because otherwise you can't program it.
Bullshit.
You can, but you need to unplug it for programming.
No, that's bullshit.
Really? Because I couldn't do it. Because the way they do their programming, it needs to like turn on and off the decoder a certain amount of times.
Oh, really? Oh, that's annoying.
And if you keep alive's in it, it can't do that. So that's why on the ESU keep alive, there's a third wire that you actually wire to a function. so it could turn off and on for programming.
Yeah. Well, actually, there would be an easy way to do that. You just get a.
You can put like a switch on it, or people put a little mini micro plug, and if they want to program it, they just unplug the keep alive.
No, I was gonna say, get a reed switch. Get a reed switch.
Oh yeah, you can do that too.
Yeah, you get a reed switch, put it somewhere in the roof, and then when you're programming it, just literally stick a magnet over the top. Done.
Yeah, yeah, you can do that. But I wish, because I was gonna use the TCS motherboard because I really liked how the keep alives were on the actual motherboard, but I had no way of turning them on and off because they're hardwired into the motherboard. But
I wonder if this is gonna work. Let's just put. Jesus Christ! There's a big double super glue. Damn it! I ruined the plug. Oh well. Sweet. So that'll work. How badly did I ruin this plug? Bad enough. Next plug.
I just finished painting the rest of my seats for my interiors. Took forever, but
yeah. Actually, remember how? I think it was when you first jumped on the live chat. I was talking to you about painting, the carriages and how I couldn't get any true color paints here in Australia.
yeah.
Yeah, so I decided to order some and send it to Steve to send in my package, which hasn't been sent yet. So I've got Union Pacific Yellow, Union Pacific Grey, Sando Blue, Sando Yellow.
Did you get any thinner with it?
No, I just use automotive thinner.
Be careful. I had problem using I bought like off the shelf, well, because it's acetone.
Oh, is it acetone based?
It is.
Thank God for that. No.
Some...
The stuff I use, it's a general purpose thinners, but it's really good for automotive paints.
Yeah.
And a lot of automotive paints are related to, yeah.
I would test it because I tried using off the shelf, acetone to thin, and it didn't get as good as a mix as when I used their own thinner.
Yeah. I know it'll work because the primer I use, which is Tamiya primer, is acetone based.
Yeah.
And my God, like I use these thinners with the Tamiya primer, and I'll paint a rolling body or a Loco cover, and within 5 minutes it's ready to paint.
Yeah.
Like literally, I just get a damp microcloth. I'll wipe the whole top just to get rid of the dust, and I just paint away, and it's done.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. But yeah, as I said, it's an automotive-based paint, and automotive paints are really tricky. You don't get automotive mixtures right, and it's just all over. So, like, it is a bit pricey compared to other paint thinners.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, like, I'm not complaining. It gives me, if I get the mixture right, it gives me a really good paint job.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I love that. The True Color paints, I swear by them, man. I will only use them from now on to paint, like, if I'm doing like a locomotive project, or like a full repaint, I'll only use their paint.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, I've only ever seen one guy at a exhibition selling them.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the only guy like that I know of. Everywhere else, like hobby shops or anything like that, it's Humbrol or Tamiya. pretty much.
Yeah. Well, Tamiya, I like Tamiya paint. I've never used Humbrol paint, but I hear that's really good too. But I know it's mostly in Europe. But the problem with Tamiya is sometimes if the mixture isn't just right or the thinning isn't just right, you get a lot of you can get like the spitting, and the running.
Oh yeah, I am no stranger to that. Trust me, it's a fucking prick.
The True Color paint, since it's acetone based, you can literally you could put it on as heavy as you want and it dries immediately. And I've never had a run with True Color paint, and it always looks like super thin when it goes on. Oh, Joel, here, I'll show you. It's this is what the bottle looks like. It's True Color.
Yeah, it's literally called True Color. So TRU.
Yeah, TRU.
COLOR.
Yeah. But they're a little. I mean, I don't know if they're really expensive compared to others. They're probably a little bit more expensive, but.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Because with the Humbrol paints, I pay maybe $4.50 Australian for a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them will last me for ages. But the True Color, I think I paid about $7 each. So.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah, but hey, if you tell me it's acetone based,
yeah,
match made in heaven.
Yeah, it goes on and it's like, it's super, it's cold because it's like it's acetone, so it just dries immediately.
Mm. Yeah, well, that's what I loved about the Tamiya primer, because like whenever I used to do a priming job, I was always worried, if I don't do the primer right, it's gonna be shit and it's gonna look horrible and it's gonna come through the paint. But now, because the Tamiya primer is acetone based as well, I just put it on and it's like, that is just.
Do you use the rattle can?
No, I use airbrush.
Oh, see, I use the Tamiya. I actually prime this. This is Tamiya, and again, I only use Tamiya primer too. It's just it goes on so fine, and it.
Yeah, there's just something about it. It's just like you can't do wrong with it.
No, it's I've used some other brand primers, and you could definitely tell the difference. Definitely.
Oh yeah, I remember a few times like using the Tamiya primer. Like I noticed like I've overpainted an area too much. I'm like, oh no, it's gonna run. It's gonna run. No, it hasn't run. Like you can tell it's a little bit thicker in that spot compared to the rest of the paint, but it's like, still good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, Jesus. Remind me when I finish wiring this loco to call myself crazy. Because what I'm doing here is... Oh, jeez. It's going to work, but my God, the fucking around I'm doing. Jesus. Where's the super glue? I've lost the super glue. Oh no. Oh, it's right there. That's step on it. Actually, that's one thing I can do. I can get started on my bloody life steam, it's a live steam locomotive engine, but it's one of those those standstill ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those. I've had it for I bought it for my son when he was 3, and unfortunately, it scared the shit out of him. So I'm like, okay, well, if it scares the shit out of you, I guess I'll play with it. And yeah, the last thing I've done to it is I've disassembled the boiler completely, unsoldered it all and cleaned out the insides and cleaned it all up. Put the boiler back together. I'm in the process of putting back together the pistons and everything else. Man, that was a job and a half.
Yeah, I bet.
Upside is I learned how to what's it called? Is it called a brazing brass when you know, like silver solder and all that?
Yep.
Yeah, I learned how to do that. It was cool.
Yeah. Do you have a little torch, or you use?
Yeah, I used one of those handheld ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good. But yeah, I burnt myself a few times. That's for sure. You know, wife looks at me and is like, "What did you do to your hand?" Oh, not much. Just decided to cook it.
Yeah, that's how. Recently, my hands been all different colors from painting and stuff. Like, it's always funny when you go. Like the other day, my thumbs were like blue from painting this blue comet, and I went to pay for something at the store, and I put my credit card in the machine, and it looked like my whole thumb was like about to fall off with frostbite. And the lady looked at me like, "What the hell you doing?" I was like, "Oh no, it's just paint."
What would be even worse if it's that if it's the same color as that paint they use for money. You know, when you're trying to steal money and it explodes.
Oh yeah, the purple.
Yeah. Imagine it was like that. You know, they look at you just like, did you rob any banks lately?
Mask on and all.
Say what?
Yeah. With a mask on, it'd look great.
Oh god. Where's Steve gone?
I'm here.
Oh, I was gonna say his trains are still running.
Yeah.
All you do is you just talk too much. I just listen. I'm still here.
Next minute, you guys are gonna start calling me Parrot.
Nah. I don't know nothing about decoders or DCC, so I can't join in the conversation. I'm ignorant.
Hey, sometimes ignorance is bliss.
This DCC can be a pain in the ass, but if you get it running right, it's nice.
Hey, who should I remove today?
Are you gonna kick someone out?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I set my tablet down on Monday and laid some rail on it. I didn't realize it, but I had something on the screen and I banned keys.
Oh, I was gonna. Maybe that's why he's not in here.
It's like why was I banned? It's like, oh man.
Steve's getting trigger happy there with banning people.
Yeah. I gotta be careful with this stupid thing. It's I almost did it again.
Yeah, you get the power gets to your head, Steve.
I know. I told you gotta take my wrench away. Crazy Joe, mine's N scale. I've always been HO, but I'm in it, at the moment.
Hey, first dibs on your collection if you decide to get rid of it.
I just sold all my N scale stuff a few months ago.
Yeah, I saw the video and I'm like, mother.
Yeah, I basically gave that stuff away. Someone bought all of it.
Yeah, I saw the comments and I'm like,
yeah, I did not think. I basically made that video just to say to people like, hey, if you're interested, here's going to be my eBay page and check it out. Nothing special. First comment I got was like, I'll take the whole thing. I was like, oh, okay.
But whoops, I should have charged more.
Yeah. But yeah, he got a good deal. And it went to a guy who was getting back in the hobby. And
oh, that's okay then.
Yeah, he was getting back in the hobby, and he's actually a locomotive engineer from Norfolk Southern. And
awesome. That makes him cool.
So he took it all and he's enjoying it. So
yeah, guaranteed he's gonna do operations for sure.
Hey, you gotta love real life engineers that also like model railroading.
Yeah,
there are actually quite a few.
I know it's kind of funny because like in the aviation world, it's like, it's kind of the same way. Like if you're like, oh man, I love like I love model planes, and I fly RC planes. People are like kind of like,
You're a
okay,
geek.
like we fly in real life, and like I get it. Like it's kind of the same way. But
Oh yeah, but working for the railroad, you had to hate trains. You couldn't like them.
yeah, I could see that. I mean,
Otherwise, you were one of those.
yeah. But to be
No,
honest, like I used to like before I started flying professionally, I I flew RC planes, and I had like a passion for aviation. And then once I started flying for a living, it's like I don't know, like I still have a passion for aviation, but I don't know, if I like were to work on a model plane, it like reminds me of work, so I don't do it. So whereas the trains is like completely different, so I enjoy doing it.
Yeah. That's half the reason why I got rid of my car, because I did it for a job.
Yeah.
Still do it for a job, then it's like, yeah, that's where I get my entertainment from.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need to double up on it. When I'm at home, I can do something different.
Well, there was a lot of times I was thinking, it's like, God, they're paying me for this. It's like, geez.
Yeah.
I do it for free.
Well, that's like, flying now. Like I love my job. I love the boss I work for and the plane I fly. And so I really enjoy flying that airplane. I love it. But it's like, it's different because now it's, I don't know. It's a positive thing. So I enjoy it. Whereas some jobs, if you don't enjoy it, you're obviously going to have a kind of a bitter taste for whether it's trains or aviation or cars or anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Like, I've got a mate of mine. Every time he messages like, "Oh, I'm working at the workshops up in the city, working on trains. Do you want to come work on trains too?" And I'm like, not really.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, come on, you'll love it." I'm like, "No, I'll get sick of it."
Yeah. That Allie, you're right. I've gotten offers to do like projects for people, like whether it's a couple weathering jobs and some locomotive paint, and I would love to do it. Like I would enjoy doing it for people, but I won't, because I know that the second I start doing stuff to make money, and if I'm forced to do it, I'm not going to enjoy it. Like the best part of this hobby for me is like I could come in here when I want, I could do what I want, and then I could walk away and not have a time to come back and work. You know what I mean? So if I did have those time restraints, I don't think I'd enjoy it as much.
Well, and that's what's great about hobbies.
Exactly.
You can't put them down. You can put them down for years and pick them back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, just ask Allie how long I've had her job for. It's a job.
What'd you say? Her what?
That's how I met Allie. I started doing a business, just doing some basic kit building and DCC work and stuff. And yeah, and Allie messaged me. It's like, "Oh, I've got some 3D prints that I want you to put together." I'm like, "Yeah, no worries." That was like how long ago now, Allie? Like 18 months, 2 years?
So you guys have a history. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Like, there have been some days where I've been scared of, Allie messaging me because I'm like, "Oh, I haven't finished this yet. She's going to be angry at me. Oh, it's taking so long for me to do these things." But no, it's all cool because, one of the things me and her are working on with these kits is trying to get them to navigate, tighter corners, because the way they've been built, nothing wrong with the way they've been built, but they just don't like tight corners for the scale. And it's like, what the hell's going on here? So, like, I even talked to a mate of mine who is an experienced brass builder. Like, he's probably 21 now, but, when it comes to brass, I always send everyone to him. I'm like, go to him. I don't know how he does it, he just does it.
Yeah.
You know, like, and he's really weird because not weird in the sense that like he's a weirdo, but weird in the sense that you know you give him a brass model and he'll have it done in 2 weeks.
Wow.
You know, no questions asked. It's just like, oh yeah, like, oh, I have my brass model going. Oh yeah, I'm just about to paint it. But I gave it to you like a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Jeez.
And he's just one of those. He's one of those kids where, you know, you go, oh, how's things? He goes, oh yeah, I've been awake for the last 3 days. Oh, why is that? Yeah, it's like, why is that? Oh, I don't know. Just was. Oh, okay. Each of their own.
Hey, Shannon, what's the story on that GS4 and the heavyweights? Did you buy them or?
Yeah, they're en route.
They're en route. En route to where? Here?
Yeah, to you.
Oh my God.
You're gonna need a really big box to send that to Australia.
I'm thinking I'm gonna have to get a shipping container.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, this will probably have to be the last thing. Like, once that loco comes, the decals, and the GS4 comes, that'll be the last of the packages I can send to you, Steve, because otherwise I'll go over that $1,000 limit, and if I go over that $1,000 limit in value, I will be paying taxes on the gift to myself.
Yeah. Don't want to go there.
Yeah. You know, and it's just astronomical sometimes. See, there you go, AllyChat. No rush, Shannon. See, the upside about in Ally's situation is she doesn't have to make me feel bad. I make myself feel bad because I'm like, I haven't done it yet. Oh, come on, get it finished. Come on, let's try and sort this shit out.
Yeah, I don't want any stress in the hobby.
Oh no, what I've done to myself in the last 48 hours is stressful. Stressful to the hole that's been created in my pocket.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh nah, I can't believe I've literally in 48 hours I managed to buy 2 ESU decoders, was able to fix one, and every other decoder I've had spare is now dud. For whatever reason. The only reason I can think of is static. Because they were working when I put them away. I tested them before I put them away, and now they don't work.
Wow.
I was like, what the hell did I do?
Yeah, those are the moments where I walk away from stuff for a little while.
That's why I'm doing this loco. You know, I'm going back to the basics. Doing DCC work. Which makes me need to build a DCC test track. That's what I really need. My hobby stole my life from carbs to full-blown speed shop. Done with that, took the fun out. Yep, I hear ya. The one thing I really miss though about this hobby is being able to spend time with my grandfather. He got me into all this, and like I remember it was what year was it? I think it was 2010, 2011. And you know, I got this, like I was watching YouTube and I saw the idea where someone made a layout for a coffee table. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do one of those for him. You know, because he always loves his trains. He always, you know, gave me anything train related and got me more and more involved in the hobby out of his own pocket. And yeah, anyway, so I bought this coffee table from a an antique shop. It had like a center. It had like a broken glass piece on top, so I got rid of that. Put a new glass piece on top of it. Had a lower shelf which I cleaned up, decked it out, put a simple loop in it with a simple siding. Built a little mountain on the inside, and yeah, and I gave him a couple of freight cars and a brand new locomotive. Plugged into into the wall and have a little speed control on the side of it.
That's cool.
And yeah, I remember it was Christmas, and what we did is we just wrapped up the top of it and the front of it, and we put all the Christmas presents on top of it. Kind of made it look like, oh yeah, we've got a table this year to stop the dogs from getting to the tree and stuff. Blah blah blah. Anyway, so we end up opening all the presents and that, and and after all the presents are off the table, my sister set it up and turns around and goes, "Oh, Granddad, there's still one more present." He's like, "What do you mean there's one more present?" And he's like, "Well, this big one here, it's got your name on it." And my God, he's looking at it going, "Oh, what the hell? This fucking thing's huge. What's going on?" And I remember as soon as he unwrapped it and saw what it was, it was like a fat kid in a candy store.
That's cool.
Yeah. Like, he was just over the moon about it, and I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, my grandfather got me into trains when I was a kid, little, and then I kind of got away from it when I grew up, and then he passed away, and a few years after that is when I started getting back into it, and I always kick myself for not getting back into it sooner, because he always really enjoyed the hobby with me when I was a little kid, and then he kept going with it, and I just kind of fell away from it for a little bit. But I always wonder what it'd be like now if he was still around.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Every time there was a train exhibition close by, because my grandma, God bless her, but she was a little bit possessive of him. Like you try and go do a hobby. Oh, honey, you're doing too much of that. You don't spend enough time with me. Oh, no. Sweetheart, no more gardening. Come on, time to spend time with me. We're not that young anymore. Got to make the most of it. So, at any chance I've got to take him out of the house and, go to train shows and whatnot. He absolutely loved it. And it's one of those few memories I cherish that I have of him. But now, like in 2013 he passed away. No, 2014 he passed away. And like, he died a happy man because his last wish in life was to have a great grandchild.
Oh, that's cool.
So my first son was born in 2013, and he died in 2014 from cancer.
Wow.
Mind you, the doctors are astounded how he survived that long with cancer, because the only reason they caught it was he went in for his blood test. You know how when you get old you have to go for blood tests and get poked pretty much every year for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what happened was he was getting sick, so every time he'd eat, he'd throw it up. Regardless what he ate, and it's not that he felt crook or anything. It was just like, I don't know what's going on. So him and Grandma go to the doctors, explain what happens, and and the doctor's like, oh yeah, it's probably just a tummy bug or something. Anyway, they do his blood works and whatnot, and they look at him and go, so how long have you had cancer for?
Oh.
And he just looks at him like, what do you mean? It's like, your white blood cell count is through the roof. Anyway, it turned out, after the doctors were talking to him and whatnot, he had cancer for 3 years, and it was only there and then it was starting to affect him.
Wow.
But because he had it for so long, it basically, was throughout his whole body. So they've gone to look. You've pretty much got 6 to 12 months to live. When things do start going bad, you can go through chemotherapy, but at your age, like it might prolong the inevitable, but you'll end up suffering more than staying. So you may as well just live to your utmost and go from there.
That's sad.
So, but yeah, apart from that, was he did everything and anything he wanted to. He started teaching my sisters Spanish, so that they can talk more of our native tongue, and I kind of grew distance because trying to build my life and kids and shit, which I regret now. I wish I spent more time with him.
Yeah.
Like that's the downside. Like I've actually grown pretty distant with my whole family, realistically.
Really?
Yeah. Like I see Mum every now and then, but that's because Mum only lives literally 5 minutes from work. So usually I go, "Hey Mum, if I give you $50, can you buy some steak and cook me lunch every day?"
Huh.
And she's like, "Yeah, no worries." And I'll go there and we'll just talk shit. Go, "Oh, how's the sisters? How's stepdad? How's this person? How's that person? Or did you hear about this? How are the kids?" So it's good in that sense. And every now and then I'll... Sorry?
I was going to say, my parents they're moving down here to Florida soon. So hopefully I'll see them more.
Yeah. No, I always give Mum shit. I always go, "Mum, you're such a cradle snatcher." She's like, "Fucking shut up." Because she's what? She's 50... Geez, she's nearly 60. She's like 58, I think. Yeah, she's 58 and my stepdad's 49.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah. So every time that conversation comes up, is like, "Mum, we all know you're a cradle snatcher, right? No need to boast about it." She's like, "Shut up. I'm not a cradle snatcher."
Oh, that's funny.
How is this one wire doing my head in? I know what I need to do and I can't fathom it.
Claude must be working overtime.
What's Claude doing? Oh, hang on, you just said at work.
Well, he had a job this morning, but he said a little while ago he'd be on in about an hour, but he must be working overtime.
Claude will be on when he's on.
Hey, Bill. Welcome back.
Oh, is Bill back? Okay, this is dangerous. Left-hand soldering.
Gluing these seats in now is like a pain in the rear.
Glad it's not me.
Has to be done.
Yep, just because you're anal and it has to line up with the windows.
It has to line up with the windows.
Oh, damn it. I knew I was going to melt something. Oh, well, at least you can't see it.
Hey, Shannon.
Yeah?
19 heavyweights are running. They work sort of pretty okay. Takes 9 units to pull them, though.
Yeah, I've got to go to the hobby shop tomorrow, buy one decoder, and see if they've got a set of wheels for my streamliners. Okay.
Hey, John, Bernard wants to know what passenger road you're modeling.
Oh, these are the Blue Comet cars. Hold on one second. I'll show you when it's done.
That's what I'll do.
These are the finished ones, but it's a Blue Comet that I'm working on. So I'm basically building the cars from these kits and putting interior lighting, everything. But it's a big project.
That's right, John. And about once Steve sends all that stuff, I'm going to be converting those streamliners I've got into Chesapeake and Ohio PM Marquette livery.
So you'll be in the same situation as me, lining up seats to windows.
Don't know just yet because I'm trying to recreate the North Pole Express.
Oh, cool.
So I have a lifelike Berkshire that I've got. I was lucky to find one undecorated. It's got the version 2 chassis in it, so it's got the LED upgraded chassis and whatnot, upgraded tender. And I still had some spare parts of a Berkshire I had from years ago. So I did a conversion where on those Berkshires, only 2 drivers were ever geared out of the 4.
Mm-hmm.
But when Lifelike designed the split frame chassis, it's like they had the plans to put a 3rd gear in it, but they didn't go ahead with it.
Huh.
So I just literally swapped that plastic shaft out for the geared shaft. So I have 3 sets of drivers that are geared, and then the frontmost driver with the gear on it, I put bullfrog snot on it, and it ends up hauling, about 15, 20 boxcars quite easily.
Wow.
Whereas
I've been wanting to do a Christmas train, not like the not like the Polar Express, but like a just like all like Christmas stuff.
yeah. That's gotta be blue. You're gonna get it. Yeah, no, I've got a War Memorial train. I've got a Halloween train, which I still need a locomotive for. Soon I'll have the Christmas train. And then the last train I need to get is a birthday train.
Birthday train.
Oh, micro trains. Like, the only reason I wanted to do a micro train, birthday train, is because micro trains do these birthday boxcars, and they're all in and they're all in the bright colors and whatnot. And it's like, oh yeah, I've gotta do it. And the only I can find the boxcars anywhere and everywhere, but it's the damn locomotive that I can't find.
Oh yeah.
So I'm almost tempted to see if I can find someone who on the cheap will do me a set of decals for a locomotive. And because I'm a sucker for steam, it's obviously going to be a steam train. It's not going to be a diesel.
Nice. I've been wanting to do like kind of like how like MTH and Lionel do their Christmas cars in O with like the lights, the Christmas lights on and everything.
Oh yeah, like hang on, what's that railroad that does all that?
The Canadian Pacific.
Yeah, the Christmas train. Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to do something like that, like to get you know, like string little mini Christmas lights and put all decoders in them, and make like I wanted to get like a flat car with like a really nice, you know, Santa Claus and the sleigh and that reindeer, and like with the light with the nose on Rudolph, like just to do all kind of cool stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
That'll definitely be awesome.
yeah, I might actually start working on that, because now I finally have my father-in-law. We're building a layout at his house down the street, and I'll actually have a layout that's close enough to me where we could run like fun trains like that.
Yeah. Well, half the reason I do all these fun trains is because when I go to exhibitions, a lot of these exhibitions are pretty close to all these holidays.
Yeah.
You know, so like you know, like a War Memorial Train, I'll run that, you know, if it's close to Remembrance Day or Anzac Day here in Australia. Halloween Train, you know, self-explanatory. There's a show I do in Easter, and basically on that day, I just get out any gondola and coal car I've got, pull the loads out, and I just load them up with eggs.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, and the kids come around, and you know, it's weird because the parents look at my layout and they're like, "Oh, look at how nice that is! Look at all the little eggs and whatnot." And I've got the signs up that says you can look but not touch. And then what do? I stop the train in front of the kids. And I'm like, "Okay, you can grab an egg now."
Yeah.
And the parents are like, "Now be careful, okay? Be careful."
Yeah, I don't want to pay for that.
Yeah. But then there's like this other show. Oh my god! I had this mother give me the biggest greasy. Like, she looked at me like, "You are dead to me." And I'm like, "Excuse me, man, but I doubt you can afford buying me another Challenger."
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, because like her son, like, you know, there's kids that just run up and then just, you know, face palm the screen and like, "Look at that, mum! Look at that, mum! Oh god, look at this, mum!" You know, they're just running backwards and forwards like lunatics.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those kids, and you know, he's come up to my lap and he's straight up, you know, gone to put his hand straight into the path of my Challenger, you know, to try and grab it. And his mum's, you know, not too far behind. And all I did was just like, "Wait, what are you doing?" You know, and he was kind of like, "Oh," you know, like, "Oh no, I just got told off."
Start crying.
Nah, he didn't start crying. He just kind of looked at his mum like, "What do I do?" And she just looked at me like, "You know, you're dead to me." I'm like,
Yeah, don't yell at my kid.
yeah. And I'm just saying, like, "Excuse me, man, but have better control of your kid." I mean, you know, yeah, these might look like toys to you, but they're expensive toys.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know, it's like that. It's like what happened over in England.
Yeah. That was horrible.
Yeah, when I heard about that, I was like, Jesus Christ, those kids.
Well, they got like criminal offenses or they got like charged for that criminally, I think.
Oh, not as much as people wanted them to be charged.
Really? That's
Yeah,
too bad.
like the parents of each child had to pay £500 each towards the damages.
That's it?
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
that's like not even a locomotive.
well, one of the locomotives was worth £2,000 because it was built in it was manufactured in the 1950s or 1960s, and yeah, it was fully restored, fully functioning, and they smashed it to bits.
That's just wrong.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can imagine a lot of people had a bit of an uproar about it. But upside is you know, like people like Rod Stewart and a couple other famous people, you know,
Yeah, I
donated
heard you people stepped in.
Yeah, and Yeah, they made some good. Well, it's probably the wrong terminology I'm using, but they made some good coin with all the donations, and there's enough there to rebuild what was lost, and and a lot of that money they're going to try and use to help youths in trouble, kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's like to a lot of modelers and stuff. It's not the price value; it's the
sentimental value.
Yeah, and the stuff that's probably how many thousands of hours was put into building those models, and there's no price tag on that.
Oh yeah, exactly. But then at the same time, like with that same mindset, there's people out there that they go and sell their layout, and they want every hour of labor that they put into it.
Oh yeah.
Candlefoot one's like, it doesn't work like that, mate.
Yeah.
Oh mother.
Yeah. A lot of the stuff like I think about when I move, I'm like seriously contemplating selling my layout and starting fresh. But
well, it depends on what you plan to do next, though.
Yeah, like I have an idea, and to be honest, it'd be easier just to start fresh. But I'm like, I'm not going to sell it for the cash. I'm just going to sell it for the fact that, I don't want to throw it in a dumpster, and I know that it's with it being a shelf layout, it's someone could easily just throw it on their wall. So I don't know. As it gets closer and closer, we'll see.
Yeah, actually, I saw on I use my wife's Facebook at the moment because I don't have Facebook because I'm still trying to get unbanned. But there was a guy on one of the buy sell pages. 2 end track modules, a corner module and a edge module, free.
Wow.
And they were decent sized modules. Like how a lot of people do like the single module.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy did like the double modules. So he had pretty much a full corner which did a U-turn. And then he had a double length straight module.
Wow.
And yeah, it was pretty good home, so obviously, something's happened or whatever, but
yeah, I mean sometimes it's like just get it out of here. Like so I don't have to pay to, whatever. Get rid of it.
Yeah. I've got a layout in the shed that I've gotta fix up. And the only reason I want to fix it up is because it's got history to it. And the history it's got to it is the train shop that I buy all my supplies from, which is Train World Australia.
Yeah.
It was originally their layout.
Oh wow.
And that layout was built in the mid to late 1980s.
Wow.
And then what happened was they sold it to some kid because basically his father came in every weekend, was like, so you're selling that layout yet? You selling that layout yet? You selling that layout yet? How about today? You selling it today? Just kept nagging and nagging, for the layout. And yeah, in the end he ended up buying it. And then obviously changed a few hands, and I ended up buying one on eBay for like $250.
Wow.
And yeah, and after I bought it, I've gone to the train shop because I'm being all excited like, whoa, I got a new layout, blah blah blah. I go to the hobby shop and I'm buying all this track and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I just bought this layout. This is what it looks like. This is how it's on a steel frame. This and that, and I'm just describing this layout. And one of the girls that works there, Fiona, I think her dad was good mates with the owner of Train World Australia. And she comes up, interrupts the conversation, like, sorry to interrupt, but and she just starts describing the layout. She's like, so it looks like this, it's got this here, it's got these kind of corners, and I'm just looking at her like, Yeah, how do you know? And she proceeds to tell me that that layout was the layout she remembers growing up with.
Oh wow.
So, you know, she's only a few years older than me. She's like, oh, she's probably 35, 36, or something like that. And yeah, she remembers the layout. And yeah, just basically, you know, it's just saying, you know, what was done to it, the story behind it, and whatnot. And yeah, and then she got to know me a little bit, and she goes, "Well, I'm really happy that you know you have the layout, you know, because I now know it's in good hands, and I know it's gonna eventually, you know, come back to its proper glory."
That's cool.
So, as I said, I still got to do a lot of work. Like, unfortunately, after getting into the layout and starting to assess it properly and whatnot, everything needs to be ripped up. Unfortunately, because the amount of like you look at it, you can see where the layout started, and then one person bought it and added something else to it. Then one another person bought it, put something else against it. Then someone else bought it, put something else against it. And yeah, like the worst part about it is when I bought it, some genius decided to put a 5 no, what was the percentage? It was a 10% gradient on a curve on a double main.
Yeah, that's not gonna work too well.
Nope. Not at all. Like the guy had an SD70 Ace, and that thing struggled to pull, you know, 10 cars up that gradient.
Wow.
So that was the first thing I ripped out. I ripped out that whole corner, and it was only after I ripped it out I found out that it was like, oh, I can actually separate this layout into 2. So currently redoing all that. Why is that stuff? Woohoo! It fits. Okay, that's that located done. Okay. Let's see what I can do without stuffing up any of my screen. There we go. Actually, if anyone's interested, let me give a camera shot. I've got that Mikado for sale on eBay.
Oh.
It's not going cheap though. I've got it at a pretty high price at the moment. It's the one I converted into an MS-4 with a GHQ kit.
Wow.
Yeah. I've got it on there for 600 Australian. And I've also got this. Essentially, it's brand new. Like, I've only test run it. Buckman 2102. That's on eBay. DCC.
How are N-scale Bachmann locomotives? Or the steam ones, at least, I should say.
It depends on the loco you buy.
Really?
Yeah, like, because the good thing with N-scale is there's a guy called Mark. You know, he's well known in the N-scale community of the people who actually know him. And he actually many years ago he started a website which he's gone out of his way to buy locomotives, any N-scale locomotive he could get his hands on. He'd buy them, clean them up, re-lubricate them, run them on a test layout, and review them completely on their performance, on how they, you know, on the performance, how they sound, their pulling power, minimum radius curves, gradients, you know, the details, you name it. He reviews them. And, you know, and he'll even update the website. So if the company releases a new release of that same model, he'll buy it, review it, and sell it straight off.
Wow.
And
Is
sometimes...
Shannon still talking?
Jesus, Claude.
Oh, there's Claude.
How you guys doing?
Not
Good,
too
how you
bad.
Doing good. Who's that, John?
Yeah, it's John.
Thought I recognize that voice.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Shannon.
No, I'm just reading something Bernard he's just said, but I'll get back to that in a second. Anyway, so what was I saying? So anyway, so he went through all this trouble to review all the locomotives, DC, DCC, and whatnot, and everyone uses his website as a Bible. So if you're in N scale and you're going to go buy a locomotive on eBay, you quickly look on his website, you look at the reviews, and then you weigh your options up and you go,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Like the last loco he did was what's that Pennsylvanian locomotive, the 4444? The T1 or whatever?
Oh.
Good on the 10th.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I just don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing the beans. I've been on for a while, so I don't know how much
anyway,
they'll be on, but
he bought a
go
brass
upstairs.
model.
Oh.
He bought a brass model just to review it. And he's currently got it for sale on eBay for $2,000.
$2,000.
Yep. Unpainted, professionally built, and, you know, and he reviewed it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I'd have some serious buyer's remorse after buying that for buying a $2,000 locomotive.
Oh, yeah. Like, I had buyer's remorse when I bought Scale Train's Big Blow 8500 G-Tail.
Oh.
And then someone put, and then after a few months, someone put it to me, it's like, you do know for that price, you essentially bought 2 locos and a tender. And I'm like, oh yeah, that sense is actually quite cheap.
Are you gonna get the new one that came out that's released?
Not a fan of that model. Like, I appreciate the details and whatnot and what they're releasing, but I'm just not a fan of it.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, if I was to buy that model, I'll drop the U50 shell on top of it instead.
Huh.
Hey, good morning, Claude.
Morning.
Yeah. Now, new Ferris. I did see something. What did you say? New Ferris?
Fenris.
Fenris.
Fenris. F-E-N, yeah.
Fenris.
Oh. It's N scale. If you're still interested, send me an email. And I'll send you the eBay link. Might even do a bit of a special deal for you, if you want. I need the money so I can, you know, buy better things. Actually, that reminds me, I was, one of the guys at the train shop was telling me a story about this modeler. I've heard his name go around, you know, the grapevine, and, you know, from what I've heard, he's a good bloke. But my God, I can't believe how much people take advantage of this bloke. Like, one of the stories he told me is he bought a brand new locomotive. You know, brand new, just arrived in his letterbox that day, and he was so excited to run it. So, next evening, he went out to his local train club and ran the locomotive for the first time. You know, ran it for the first time straight out of the box. Anyway, come the end of the night, he's like, oh shit, I don't have any money for dinner. So he sold it for half the price there and there. Just so he could have dinner.
Wow.
And yeah, and the guy at the shop was telling me, like, he does it every time. He'll buy it, get all excited, and then he'll go, oh, I need money to do this now. Shit, I've got to sell something. Oh, well, I'll sell this. Someone will want it.
Oh my god.
And yeah, and supposedly a lot of people at his local train club just take advantage of that.
Oh.
So, but yeah, but from what I've heard, yeah, he's such a nice guy.
Addicted to buying trains.
Mm. Ooh, that's harsh. Yeah, send us an email. I might get the name wrong. Is it Bill? I think it's Bill. Bill, send me an email. If I got the name wrong, you can slander me on the email instead. You can tell me I'm wrong here, but you can slander me all you want on the email. Nah. Oh, hey John, did you end up looking up those LEDs I sent you the link for?
Yes.
What do you reckon of them?
Yeah, they're nice. I haven't bought any, but I like them.
Yeah. As I said, they're about this. Oh, I think they're an 0402 size.
Yeah.
So you know they're the larger SMDs, but man, for a tri-LED, that's those three colors.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some when I build. I've got a few signal kits I want to make for my father-in-law's layout.
Yep.
And I'm gonna order those for them.
Yeah. Oh, but it makes it so easy though, because literally it's all there. You don't have to bugger around with 3 different LEDs, 3 different wires, and all that. It's just basically one LED, a single spot, searchlight, semaphore, and you're done.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because I know when I was doing building my own signals in the past, my god, trying to get the LEDs on the brass piping, you do one, you're like, okay, that's all good. You go do the next one, and the first one falls on, you're like, oh crap. And then you're trying to glue them together just so they hold together while you solder them on, and then you got glue all your fingers, and then then you start again.
Yeah.
So what are you working on, John?
I am putting seats in this passenger car right here.
Oh, okay.
Or interior in it. There you go. So I think I mentioned before that I bought interiors for these cars, but got annoyed that the seats didn't line up with the windows, so I'm individually placing every seat.
Well, that's like an airplane though, when they don't line up with the windows.
Exactly. Well, yeah. Nowadays they don't because they try to fit more seats in.
Yep.
Oh, actually, John. Now that you mention that, have you seen that guy that made that Bowen? I think it was a 747 out of paper.
Out of paper?
Yeah.
No, I've seen people make them out of foam and stuff.
No, this guy made a model of a Boeing 747 out of paper with operating doors, foldable seats, the works. Operational landing gear. It's like, it wasn't normal paper. I think it was like craft paper, but you look at this model and you just go, my god, this guy is crazy.
Some people have way too much time.
Yeah, like, I think he even went through the trouble to actually do the full skeleton of the wings, the full chassis, and then line it properly and everything. And he pretty much did everything to the blueprint, but instead of using aeronautical aluminium, he just used paper. And it's an impressive model, that's for sure. Damn it.
I gotta go grab my charger real quick. I'll be right back.
Hey, Claude, he's already got that jig made and in the mail. I think I was I got fast.
Yeah, he must know what he's doing then.
Man.
So is he sending this to you as the replacement of the other one, or?
Well, it's kind of an addition too. I mean, he said, you know, I'll make you another one and you pay me whatever you think it's worth. And I said, I don't know. He said, how about $10? And it's like, cool, done. You know, and that's basically the shipping.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, it's just, you know, the only thing he did, I think he did wrong is he didn't cut the tie slot large enough. When you get the tie soldered in, they don't stick out the rail very far. So he's going to adjust that. But I think just having a simple, you know, jig with just a right and left turnout, and he's also going to cut in the length for the closure rails too. So I guess you can make those separate, I guess.
Yeah, I would think that'd be much more difficult than scale.
Well, that double crossover, you know, even he said that by the time you got the crossing in there with the Code 83 rail, which normally, you know, most of the stuff's done with 55, and the webbing of the 83 is so much bigger. By the time he milled out the crossing and everything, there wasn't a lot of material left, and
yeah,
you know, it was difficult to find out where to put the frog points in because it didn't. You know, there was a little bit of slop to it.
Well, some of that's even true with the fast tracks jigs. You know, where the rails come together, your closure rails and frogs and all that stuff. Some of that aluminum is even real thin or non-existent. You know, because you got to get the webbing of the rail in there.
Right. So I think just having a simple, basic, you know, turnout jig without getting all crazy with a crossover, I think is the way to go.
Well, you may also have to experiment with your stock rail,
right,
and how much you file off of it to get a good point closure on it.
Right.
You may find that you want to get even a little bit of the head filed off as opposed to just the web.
Exactly. And, you know, the other thing I noticed, too, that I had forgot that I didn't take into consideration is that you sent me a number 4 filing jig, and this is a number 5. And that also contributed to that. Remember I told you that didn't look right where the throw bar was. And that's why it's like, so I'm going to have to file just a little bit more off of those to compensate for that.
Yeah,
difference, which I think would be fine.
I had built a number 5Y with that 4 jig, but I don't plan on building any more number 4s. So
yeah, and I think those files are going to help a lot because mine suck.
Yeah, they're on the way.
I saw that. Boy, you were quick too. Damn.
I sent them out the next morning.
Wow.
Yeah, Claude doesn't fuck around.
I sent yours out, and I sent that deal out to Heath.
Now, if I just get my rail, we'd be all set.
Well, like I said, it's probably being. I'm sure he has a drop ship from Microengineering.
Yeah.
I got to get an update out this weekend too. I'm overdue.
Well, if you need the time, you can have Saturday off.
I'll probably do it Saturday after the show or something, or Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Because I really haven't done a lot on the layout since my last update because I've been working so much, but you know, I do have a little bit of stuff to show that wasn't on it. I did finish the timber bridge. You know, I got all the fire barrels put on and some of that stuff. I got several more trees on it.
I keep bloody thinking it's bloody Friday night, Saturday morning.
Nope.
Like all day, even though I kept correcting myself. I was like, okay, today's Thursday. Within 20 minutes, it's like, okay, today's Friday. Tomorrow, I've got to do the show. And I'm like, no, today's Thursday. The show's in 2 days.
Calm down, Shannon. It'll be okay.
No, I'm just
Really?
I'm just losing my time frame. Like my perception of time is just elusive.
Just wait to get older.
Oh, don't remind me.
It doesn't get any better. Trust me.
No, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah. Yeah. See what they don't tell you about being over the hill at 30 is how steep it is on the other side.
Yeah. And they grease the rails.
Yeah, and how fast you pick up speed.
And also all the rocks and boulders you hit on the way.
Yeah, that you're going so fast though that you don't see half of them.
They just blindside you.
You just fly right over them. Well, it's like time, and here lately it's been names, and I'm trying to think of somebody I can see their face and I can't think of their name.
Yeah.
It's really bad when it's family members.
Yeah.
That's all right. At this rate, hasn't been confirmed yet, but there's a high possibility that my family has dementia running through it. So.
We could have told you that.
Oh no, because my grandmother's starting to show signs of it. So.
Yeah, my grandmother and mother both. My mom wasn't as much, but my grandmother was older. And, the last couple of years she was alive, she just laid in bed, didn't know who anybody was.
Mm. Yeah, that was like, that's like my
that's pretty typical.
Yeah. It's like my godfather, his mother's going through dementia, really early onset, and, he finds it heartbreaking because he'll go visit her, and he'll go, so do you know who I am? And she'll recognize him, and she'll go, yeah, I recognize you, but no, I don't know who you are. And it's like, who am I? And she'll like, your family friend, your cousin, your nephew.
Old boyfriend.
Yeah. And it's like, no, Mum, I'm your son.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I know it's hard to watch. And what's sad, when your pets get that way, you can have them put down at the vet. You can't do that with your parents.
Well, if I ever get like that, I hope they pull the plug.
Yeah, well, that's me. I mean, I don't want to be in a position my mom was and have pretty much all of her faculties and not be able to do for herself. She sat in a wheelchair all day. Not in a regular wheelchair, but, it was a fairly comfortable wheelchair, but still, she's sitting there. She's, got to have help to go to the bathroom. She's got to have help to do anything.
Yeah, because
except eat. She could feed herself at the table, but that was about it.
Yeah, only because she was actually doing the activity, but she'd forget to go to the toilet. She'd forget to actually start eating. She'll forget to go shower. She'll forget to do all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's what kills a lot of dementia patients.
Yeah.
They just literally forget to do something that is essential to live.
Yeah, it is hard to watch. So my mother was always after me that she always took vitamins and stuff like that. Was always after me to eat right and all that. And I said, Mom, I'm going to enjoy the time I'm on Earth. And when it's my time, it'll be my time. But I'm not going to try and live to be 100 years old. I don't want to be 100 years old. I worry now about being able to get upstairs to the layout in 5-6 years.
Yeah, you're gonna have one of those elevator things where you sit on the chair, you press a button, and just go. Bzzz.
Yeah.
I just found a very fitting video for all of us. The caption of it is when you get permission to buy model trains,
Yeah.
and that's the that's the video of it.
I have a T-shirt that said, "My wife said I can have all the RC airplanes I can hide."
We need a shirt like that. We need that shirt.
Yeah, I can have all the model trains I can hide.
Mm. Oh, that'd be great. I hear an echo of myself.
I hear it too. Somebody's got something on.
Well, it can't be me because I got headphones.
Well, it's not me because I'm just on the phone. I don't even have my tablet out. I can't see chat or anything.
I got my tablet out. I haven't changed anything, so it shouldn't be me.
And John's muted.
Yeah, we'll blame it on John. John's gone. We'll blame it on him.
It can't be us. There's just no way.
Hang on, maybe it is me. Maybe my headphones are playing up. Is the echo gone?
I think it's
Is the echo gone?
I think your head just echoed.
Yeah, it's still on there. So I can hear myself.
Okay, I'll stick my headphones back in. Man, I wish I had the money to start my next layout. Oh. I might clean up all this up tomorrow. Oh, some bottles. Why do I hear a bird?
because I have my door open to the shop and I have birds all around. Claude says I live in an aviary.
Yes, he does.
Hey, good morning, Michael McCarville. How are you this morning?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, at least, actually, do you guys have ibises in the States?
Have what?
Ibises.
Birds? No. Not that I know of.
Okay. Because here in Australia, we've got a bird called the ibis, but no one calls it the ibis. Everyone calls it the bin chicken.
Okay.
Yeah. The reason it's called the bin chicken is literally, you thought seagulls were bad? The ibis, like you know how when you have so many chickens on the ground and they're all just foraging around on the ground, just scratching and pecking.
Yeah.
You'll have like a pack of ibises around a public bin doing the same thing, getting the contents of the bin out of the bin and scratching and pecking for food. And then after they're gone, the seagulls come and start attacking the rubbish that they left outside of the bin. And then the crows come.
Yeah, I can see the seagulls doing that for sure.
Yeah. Well, as I said, the ibis is worse than the ibis makes the seagull tolerable.
Well, we've got a bumper crop of turkeys around here this year. My God.
What's that?
We have a lot
What's
of
that?
Canadian
Your
geese
shout for
around here.
Thanksgiving?
No, won't starve, that's for sure.
We get a lot of Canadian geese around here.
What do you mean, Bernard?
And when I say around here, I mean in the neighborhood. You're liable to walk outside and find them in your front yard.
Bernard, if you want, send an email to the Back on Track moderators email, and I'll get in contact with you there, and I can answer any questions you want, one-on-one. I'm happy to help where I can.
Hey, Shannon,
Yeah.
I had sent some stuff to Don. What the hell's his last name? Can't remember his last name. Nearly Historical Railroad. You ever seen his channel? He's got a really nice layout. Him and his dad and some friends.
Hang on. Did you say
anyway,
Nora?
No, not Nora. This is Nearly Historical Railroad.
Let me write that down.
Name's Don. His dad's name's Don, and they've got a couple friends that help. Three friends that help them. But they've got a big HO layout and a narrow gauge layout. And anyway, I had sent some tortoise remotes to him that I wasn't going to use.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Was that the last page you did it, or was that on Saturday's show? Can't remember now.
No, it wasn't on either one of them. I mentioned it to him on his show, and then he sent me the email to send me for where to send it. But I told him I'd like to get him on our show.
Okay.
Sometime if he was willing. And he's been on what the hell's the name of that one? Model Railroading Live or something like that.
Yeah.
Who's Big Bill talking to?
Yeah.
He's been on that show.
Yeah.
Him and his dad were on that one. But yeah, I'd like to get him on ours. And I don't know if, he hadn't responded. He's kind of slow responding to the emails, but I told him we'd like to have him on if he'd like to be on.
Yeah, no, definitely. I got a few emails from a couple of guys, so I've lost my train of thought. Got a couple of emails with some topics we could talk about, so I'll discuss that with you guys and whatnot, or I'll just flip a coin and pick one.
Well, I tell you, I like Claude's idea about vendors. Now, I think we've got a lot of vendors that are helping us out.
Yeah, actually, hang on a second. Screw it. If you guys are here, I might as well just look at the emails now. Okay, so Heath suggested, what do you wish existed right now and model railroading that does not? Why do you model in the scale that you model in? What aspects of model railroading do you feel really uncomfortable about? What was your most frustrating model railroad moment? And more community interviews. So that's a couple of things from Heath.
That's some good stuff.
And that was after banning him too.
Yeah, after Steve kicked him off.
I kicked him off, man.
Yeah. Steve Anderson, which is Steve 87th. I have this urge to call him just to say, hello, Mr. Anderson. We meet again. Anyway, he's got using vehicles on model railroads, issue of scale, error, where to buy, matchbox versus scale, pros and cons of unitrack systems, rail and roadbed ones, best and worst, switches, scales, odd train scenes, do you like them? Have you seen tornadoes, UFO, dinosaurs, future train systems?
I don't think so, Allison.
So there's that. Then there's a couple of emails I sent to William in regards to some things. Then there's an unread email from Heath saying, I'm not in timeout, I have been banned.
No, we wouldn't put him in timeout.
Yeah, I'm not going to live that one down either.
No, you're not. As you shouldn't be able to.
Well, they still haven't found the anomaly in last beans. I kind of threw that one out, Claude, to find it, and they haven't found it.
They haven't found it yet.
Well, I haven't started looking for it yet, and now
Well, if you hadn't given me a hint, I probably wouldn't have noticed it either.
Ah,
Hey, I hear an echo now.
yeah, no, that's me. I'm just going back to the last. Let's see. So you said the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, you'll find it in the first 3.
Man, I've got to go through some of these videos and edit out the start section of where it says stream starting soon.
You need to get a different background too.
Oh, come on, what's wrong with the coffee pot? Literally, that's an Australian locomotive called the coffee pot.
Okay.
That's why I used
Never
it for
mind.
trackside beans.
Never mind. Never mind.
Was that the one on the bridge?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, it's...
Don't listen to Steve. He didn't know what he's talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I can't even dress myself. What do you care?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a good thing you didn't smoke. You wouldn't be able to reach him.
Yeah, I know. Oh, there's the hint.
Okay.
We just went live.
Are you talking about the echo, Steve?
Anyone
No.
who's already started to watch us, which at the moment there is only one person. I don't know. We're live. Yeah.
There's a cart.
Ah, it's Claude. It's Claude. Claude's on there.
Do what? I'm on a mission.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Nah, what did I just do? Back cooking. Claude's on there. Why is there an echo? Ah, okay. Oh, what the fuck? What's going on?
Jeez, I swear a lot.
You do swear a lot.
That's how we know it's you.
That's right.
Which screen? Yeah, we can.
What are you doing? Watching an old show?
Yeah, I'm watching last week's show, trying to figure out what Steve did.
Yeah, I just gotta remember how to do it. How to do it. Just bear with me.
I've been meaning to ask you that for a while. We only have 2 or 3 of them, or 3 of us especially. Staff with the open areas on there. It's kind of distracting.
Yeah. Just bear with 2 seconds. I'm currently loading firmware onto my decoder.
Is that? Oh, is that?
What do you mean it's not supported?
Was that yesterday's beans
My-
or?
Yeah, the other
Last
day,
week's
whatever
show.
day it was.
I think it was Monday or Tuesday. I forget. If you've gone 3 minutes, you missed it.
Oh, you're trying to find Steve's thing. Good luck. If you hadn't found it yet, you're not going to.
Yeah. It's like looking for the hidden sign in a picture. The hidden symbol in the picture.
Well, I'm at 3 minutes 44 now.
Oh, you're way past it.
What do you mean it's not?
Yeah, did you ever fix it, Steve?
No. I didn't even notice it until I watched the replay and went, holy crap.
Ah, that's great.
Yeah. And the bad thing is I can't change it. It is what it is. It's done. It's out on YouTube forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even deny it.
Is
Well,
it
it's not
something
like
you
it's the
physically did, or is it something that's...
Yeah, I just gotta remember.
It's not like it's the worst thing in the world, Steve.
Just
No.
bear with me.
No,
Pretty funny though.
It would be typical of me though.
Oh, this is.
See, now we got Shannon. He's driving Shannon crazy. He wants to find it.
That's the best part of it.
And then he's going to go, it wasn't that big a deal. And it isn't. It's just funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'll probably watch him like, oh, is that all? I do that all the time.
Yeah. I spent an hour looking for that. Oh, my God. Yeah. You'll never find it.
It was obviously not something you said, so I don't have to have the sound on.
No, it didn't.
that's what
Wasn't anything you said.
If you went 2 minutes, you went past it. Of course, you probably see it later on, I guess. But you don't have to look.
Yeah, if you didn't change it, you'd probably see it.
Yeah,
later.
you don't have to look through the whole show to see it. And I had my fly up, so it wasn't bad.
So you're doing something. What is there? There's a cut on your arm. Train's there. You put away your goggle thing, then it goes black for whatever reason. You get up. Is it that thing on your back? You get your tablet out. You put it on the chair.
That's shitty, man. God. We need to slap him, Claude.
Yeah. If we could virtually slap him, we would.
Yeah.
Did anybody in chat see it? Oh, they're not watching the same thing.
They're not watching.
He gets a tube. Okay. What did you do?
Hey, Shannon, here's a hint. If he smoked, he'd be hard pressed to reach his cigarettes.
Still doesn't get it.
I'm thinking something involving his back pocket.
Well, close.
Is it that thing on his back? That square-looking thing?
Yeah. Look at it real close.
So hard to look at it real close on a bloody phone
How
screen.
many people have a back pocket, Shannon?
Oh god! I didn't even realize it was a pocket.
Is that thing on your back?
Oh god! You know what the sad thing is though? That probably why I didn't notice it the first time around. My son, don't ask me how, don't ask me why. I'll go to him, go get dressed, get out of your pajamas. 5 minutes later, he comes out, shirt, pants, both of them backwards. And I've just gotten to the point, I look at him and go, oh, we're not going anywhere, I'll just leave it. If he's comfortable, he's comfortable. He's dressed.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I thought you noticed that right away, Shannon.
Well, I saw the thing on your back and I'm just looking at it like, is that something stuck to his back or something?
It was his pocket. Yeah, sewn to the shirt.
Close.
Oh. Maybe
I thought I saw it on the show, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't pay that much attention during the show.
Oh well, tough being perfect.
That's okay. It was funny.
I thought so.
Yeah. Oh god, I gotta bloody go to the electronics store tomorrow and get some more soldering iron tips.
Okay, wait a minute. I want you to explain that to me. Why do the English and Australians obviously use the word bloody instead of saying some other cuss word?
I I
I
think
know they can prove.
I think the reason we use bloody as a term when we're explaining something is, it's another way of saying, I've got to deal with this mess.
Okay.
Like when like if you got an animal, it's like, oh, look at this bloody mess.
Okay.
So
Well,
like
I figured it was something like that, but yeah, the English use it a lot, and they use it as a not so nice term. Because to us, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ally's saying something about we were trying to sell her last one.
Oh, not this shit again.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
You were putting her on the street, Shannon.
No, I was not.
Hey, what's up with that, man?
Yeah, you were.
Oh.
Poor girl turned her into a hooker. Man, I tell you, that was horrible.
Jesus Christ. I am not going to live this down. This is going to haunt me for the rest of my YouTube career.
Just like Steve's re-railer.
Just like my re-railer and my backwards shirt.
Yeah. Oh.
But, we wouldn't kid you if we didn't love you. So there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, Shannon, you insult your mates.
Yep, no, definitely. And at the moment, I have, if we went on YouTube, the language that'd be coming out of me right now.
Oh yeah, we'd be banned forever.
Oh, sometimes when every time I'm on Ron's channel when he's on a live stream, oh Jesus. I think me and him kind of egg each other on to try and just up the ante. Who can be worse? And he beats me with experience. Oh.
This thing might actually end up looking like something. I get done with it.
Yeah, Shannon, Ally says she is so gonna haunt your ass for that.
As she should.
Yeah, she said you were pimping her out. Yeah.
Hang on, let me get a syringe and inject the bubble into my blood. It'll be a quick death at a random time. You know what? I'm actually really tempted to sell my Concord Aero train right now. Man, I actually need to give this workshop a good clean. Damn it. Nah, it's all good, John.
What's happening?
Oh, no, John was just saying, sorry, guys, that he had to jump off because...
Oh, groceries delivered. Yeah, I understand that is really taken off now.
We've been doing that for a couple of years here in Australia, getting groceries delivered.
Oh, I love that. They don't do that here. I have to actually go to the store.
Nah, it kicked off here in Australia, especially for all the retirees, They just go online, order what they want, get it delivered, don't even leave the house.
Going grocery shopping for me is right on the list of cleaning the bathroom.
Don't get me started on cleaning the bathroom, Jesus. There's a few places to stay away from. The kitchen, the bathroom, and the toilet in regards to cleaning.
Lightweights.
What's really weird is my wife likes cleaning bathrooms.
Well, if you learn how to clean a bathroom the proper way, you wouldn't be afraid of it.
Oh, I'm not afraid of it. I just don't like it.
But one thing I can tell you, a women's room, when I was working as a janitor, women's room in a manufacturing facility, 10 times worse than the guys. 10 times worse. I'd have never thought it either, but
Yeah.
man.
Oh, actually, talking about bathrooms, that reminds me, here in Australia, there's a practical joke that happened.
Now, wait a minute. Back this up. Allison, what are you talking about? She says, here's a fun fact you guys probably don't know about me. I'm actually gay, a lesbian, but it's so much fun teasing you.
But it's so much fun, what?
Yeah.
Teasing us.
Yeah, where did she say that? Oh, wait.
Okay. Well,
I've had my suspicions about you, Ally, but I wasn't going to be rude and, you know, pry into your personal life, you know.
Yeah, it's
that's
her
your
business.
Yeah,
That's your business.
but good on you. You know, like, you know, go that LGBT. Oh, I can't even remember the acronym. I'm going to butcher it. I'm not going to even say it. I don't want to butcher it.
Yo, I couldn't even do it either.
Yeah. No, my sister-in-law's gay, so. But at the moment, she's in a rough relationship, and me and my wife are trying to get some sense into her.
I think my wife's thinking about it.
Yeah. Hurricane season here, so.
That's not a bad idea, John. Honestly, that's not a bad idea.
Anyway, back to what I was saying. So talking about bathrooms, it reminded me of this practical joke. These couple of factory workers decided to do to a fellow factory worker, and what they did is he was out on lunch, and whilst he was out on lunch, one of them went into the bathroom, unrolled some of the toilet paper, and put some Tabasco hot sauce on the toilet paper.
Ooh.
And then rolled it back up. Couldn't even tell it was on there. After lunch, the guy comes back, you know, after he's had his lunch. An hour goes by, he needs to go use the toilet. Goes to the toilet. He ends up walking out of the bathroom, pants down, going, what the hell did you guys do? And he's walking around with his pants around his ankles, holding his balls, going into the other room so he can grab the eye washer to wash his balls and his ass. and he's also, like, you know, trying to do the whole, milk's good for hot stuff, so he's pouring milk down his crack and everything, trying to get the hot sauce off. And the worst part about it is, as he's trying to do it, it's like, it's getting worse because it's all over my hands too, and now I'm spreading it all over. Oh, this is agony. And that's what we do. It's a practical joke.
Yeah, we used to do that to the sophomores in high school. That's before freshmen were in high school. We used to, we had this stuff in the athletic department called atomic bomb, and it was like Bengay on steroids.
Oh,
it was really hot. It was some hot stuff. Take it and you grab their jock and smear it on the inside of their jock strap. Now, it wouldn't get them right away. It'd take about 10, 15 minutes. So about the time practice is just getting really good started, they start feeling it.
Oh, God.
But, you know, that's rites of passage kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We never did anything, you know, dangerous to them, but.
Actually, you tell me that. My mate, the one that was in the army, in the infantry, he did something similar. He injured his knee, so he got some deep heats and rubbed it into his knee.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't wash his hands and went to bed. Anyway, he was feeling a bit lonely, so you know he decided to entertain himself. You can pretty much guess where this is going.
Oh yeah, you said enough.
Yeah. Anyway, and he was saying by the time it finally took full effect, he was running up and down the hallway in his barracks, waking up every other soldier to his pain and agony. And they're all wondering, what the hell did he do? Oh.
He committed Harry Carey is what he did.
Yeah. But it was just funny because, like, you know, it's bad enough that he did that to himself, but to get to the point where he's running up and down the barrack hallways, waking every other soldier up in the middle of the night.
Not worrying about everybody else knowing what he did.
Yeah.
That's when you know it hurts, when you don't care what everybody else thinks.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some of the stories he comes up with is like, oh, Jesus.
Okay, everyone's downstairs. We'll be right back.
I'd go inside and get some poker salad.
Oh, geez, 10-3.
Yeah, 10-10. I'm gonna have to go into town here in a bit. I got errands I gotta run.
Well, according to USPS, there should be no packages coming today.
What about today?
There shouldn't be any packages coming in today. Like, one's expected to come Saturday, and one's expected to come Monday.
Okay.
And then there's the one that's MIA.
Well, I got 2 packages for me coming Monday. I got Claude sending me some files, and Blue Ridge Tracks is sending me a replacement soldering jig. So those are supposed to be here Monday.
That's right. Oh, that's what I've been doing for the last half hour. Damn it. Here I am sitting looking at the laptop, having a good old chat, and I've just looked over to my left and I've realised I've got to be working on my MT4 project. I might give this room a clean tomorrow. Oh, Steve, I've got this wireless camera on order.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna see how it goes. Supposedly it's meant to be pretty small.
You gonna put it on your layout?
Oh, I'll put it on a flat card or something.
Flat card.
No, it's not I have too many projects on the go, Ali. It's just I start one project and then it goes hiatus, and then I'll start another project, it goes hiatus, and then I start another one, it goes hiatus, and then next minute I'm like, oh, I remember this project, I better finish it, so I'll finish it. And then I'll find the next project, oh, I forgot I didn't finish this, and then I'll finish that one. Jesus Christ, that scared me. Oh, Jesus. Thought something was coming up behind me to scare the fuck out of me. Turned out just to be my poster coming off the wall.
Okay. Now.
Okay, I think I better call it a night.
Alrighty.
Now I've got to figure all this stuff out again.
I got to go be a real human being anyway.
A real human being.
Yeah, actually, I got to go in and I got to pay. I think his name is Ron. I got to go send $10 to Blue Ridge Tracks for that. Money. I sent you your money. The check's in the mail.
Check's in the mail? Okay.
Actually, it's in the box. It's in the box with your shot glass and your key ring.
Did you actually send me a check?
Huh?
You actually sent me a check?
Yeah, I still write checks. It's good, I promise.
Next minute it bounces.
Yeah, really. I may frame it.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I still do checks occasionally.
I can't remember the last time I did one.
Yeah.
Now you have all my personal information. You have my everything.
All right. Anyway.
Oh, colored me thrilled.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Anyway, I'll shut this stream down for now.
All right.
I guess we'll see everyone Saturday. We have a new intro on Saturday. We'll grab one of those topics that was sent in and decide which one we'll do.
Got the unboxing for the traveling boxcar.
Yeah, and
Yep.
And you got that. How's that thing you doing going, Claude? Is that going all good or?
I didn't get a chance to work on it at all yesterday, but I will get in there today probably and do some stuff.
All right, easy done.
But yeah, we'll get it going.
Yep.
Yeah, and then because I've already got a couple of people wanting some keychains, so
Okay.
you know, if they want extra stuff, you know.
Well, that's the kind of, I think there again, I think that's the one Steve needs to just take care of that one since he's got it all there.
All right.
It'd be easier that way.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'll bail them out.
All right, I'll forward those emails to you, Steve. So then that way you know who to send to what and all that other jazz. And yeah, and I've got to go to bed.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody in chat. Thank you, Allison. We'll see you Saturday.
Yes. See you guys later.
Yeah. Actually, maybe the next Trackside Bangs we'll do, we should try and play a game online with each other.
A
What would
game?
that Like what?
I don't know. Ooh. Hey, Claude.
Yeah.
Ali says, with those things you're making, we need one that has a quote that says, "Where's your re-railer?"
Where's your re-railer?
Got your re-railer?
Got your re-railer?
Oh,
She's coming along with the humor stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
she's figuring out how to dish it out now.
Yeah.
Nah, she's always known how to dish it out. I just think she was just being polite, and now she's like, these guys are alright. I know where the line is.
Not around us.
Oh,
Yeah, that's good. I might have to do that.
all right. Anyway, let's talk. I'm jumping off.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your re-railer is?
That's right.
Oh,
You remember those, John?
I can't find
Remember those
my
commercials?
re-railer.
Yeah, Shannon. They used to have a deal on here at 10 o'clock at night that they'd come on as a blurb before the news or whatever, and it'd say, "It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your kids are?" So that was kind of the play on that.
oh, okay. That makes
I
sense.
phone and I can't find my re-railer.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, we'll talk more about this later. Otherwise, we're going to be here for another hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Good night.
All
See you
right.
later.
See ya.
Golly.
Oh, good night.
Uh,
Beep, beep.